Hello, once again, my American friends and my thousands and thousands of subscribers to this site. Actually, I have 4 subscribers, and I'm laughing at myself about that, not at my 4 subscribers. I I just want to say thank you to those 4 subscribers. I think one of them is a relative of mine who didn't really know he was going to be part of a subscriber on this particular website. Anyway, I guess I'm a lot like Trump that way. I'm very deceiving to get all those subscribers to my page, channel. Anyway, this today I'm going to try once again to appeal to specifically the megas who are still hanging on to the belief that Trump is the second coming of Christ. And I'm not even going to say he's not because you're convinced that he is. So I'm not going to try to change your mind. But well, why even have a channel like this? Why even bother? Well, like I said in my early couple of videos, the reason I started this channel is to let you know that there are ordinary people out there who aren't trying to get your vote, like me, who don't have a vested interest. There's no money coming my way for having a channel like this. None of my videos are monetized. I'd have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. Of course, I have tens and tens of thousands of them, but yeah. And that's not the point. This isn't the point for me to make money doing this. It's to show you that I'm relatively honest by, that I don't have a vested interest in this. No money coming my way. Partly it's because I believe that everyone should stick up for the rights of others when there's been a tragic incident. And a tragic incident that I am referring to is that somehow millions of people basically believe Trump is going to fix things in the United States. Things, by the way, that were not broken. All you have to do is a little research, folks. I know, I understand. You voted for him and you're not changing your mind and you're not doing any research because you don't have to because you don't want anything to influence the fact that you absolutely know you made the right choice by voting for him. You're the, if I use an analogy of a family, you're that one stubborn, stupid, ignorant relative, an uncle usually, who just refuses to admit he's wrong. And that's why none of the family wants you around. And of course, you don't care because you don't have a conscience. You're just like the fellow you voted for. You don't give a shit. You know you're wrong. You and I both know that. Me, like you, just an ordinary guy who has opinions and thinks his opinions are, make more sense than anyone else's. Doesn't matter what you do. Except in my case, I do research and I figure things out for myself. I don't listen to a cult leader, which Trump is, and I'm not a cult member, which you are. And what's really sad is the ones of you that are listening that are cult members who don't know that they are. Because I know there's a lot of you who are cult members who know, who know that's exactly what you are, but you're too fucking stubborn to admit it. That's it. That's it. Anyway, so I'm going to list a few things, just a few. There's thousands of things I could list. Literally thousands. And if you don't believe me, again, go do your own research like I do. Listen to YouTube, listen to the news on TV, radio, whatever. the guy down the street that everyone goes to when you have an argument about anything that has to do with anything more than grade one math. Yes, that's I'm accusing people who voted for Trump and still stick to the fact that they think he's the second coming as people who aren't smart enough to do grade one or grade two math. Yes, you're that fucking stupid. Okay? I'm sorry, but nothing else seems to be working for you, so I might as well come right out and tell you what I think, right? And you can tell me what you think of me down in the comments. Let's have a good old down Eastern, right? I'm pretty sure I could take most of you. Anyway, so number one on my list, bing, refuses the Supreme Court's orders. Supreme. They call it supreme for a reason. And if you don't understand the power the Supreme Court has, if you're, again, that fucking stupid that you don't know, that you cannot refuse, there's no higher court. And no president can refuse an order from him. A king can. Catch my drift? A king can. At least the king thinks he can. Remember the king back in 1700s, King George, I think it was? And you guys started a Revolutionary War because you didn't want a king telling you what to do? Maybe you should study that. Would that be grade 3 history? All right, number 2, sending out letters to Americans. I'm not talking about Mexican Americans. I'm not talking about immigrant Americans. I'm not talking about green card Americans. I'm talking about Americans, second, third, maybe fourth, 5th, 5th, 10th generation people who have a passport, who were born, have a birth certificate proving they were born in the United States, lived there for years, have jobs, never been in trouble with the law, and they're getting letters sent to them telling them to leave the country. Just outright pack up and leave before we come and get you. Save us the inconvenience of coming and sending it off to another country, Salvador, to a prison there that's for, the worst of the worst, because that'll save us $5,000 a year. So if you don't mind, could you just leave? Now, these are Americans. These are bona fide American people are getting letters in the mail telling them to leave. And when they request the government, portion of the government that was responsible for this, say, we made a few mistakes. Yeah, they made a few mistakes. They made a few mistakes, just like sending that poor son of a bitch who's rotting down in that fucking prison. They made a mistake. They admitted they made a mistake. They had the president of El Salvador sitting right next to fat, red-headed, stupid son of a bitch Trump, sitting right there. And all he had to do is turn his fucking head in his direction and say, Mr. President of El Salvador, could you release that guy? Because we made a mistake and he should never have been sent there, which they admitted to. And then Pam Bondi, or whatever her fucking name is, and Levine, or whatever her name is, both of them making proclamations saying that he was a criminal, and Bondi saying that his wife is better off without him, and his kids are better off without him. Are you fucking kidding me? You megas that still hang on, you think that I wish I had the hand of God. I could reach down and grab one of you fuckers by the head and just rip you right out of your living room and see how that feels to you. Oh, but I'm not a legal immigrant, but you're listening to lies and bullshit because of your prejudice, and he is feeding your prejudice, you stupid shits. Fuck. Here we go. Number 3, hired a group of idiots as his personal Gestapo. And yes, Gestapo, Nazis, SS, yes. Like Pam Bondi, which I mentioned, and Levette, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Number 4, promised the end of war in Ukraine. Yeah, don't need to go there. Number 5, praises Russia and Putin and tries to take over Canada, the USA's best friend. Now, you may not think that we are, and that's fine, but that's what I hear, that apparently Canada and the United States are best buddies. But yet your second coming of Christ, Donald Trump, keeps saying he wants to take us over. We'd be a cherished 51st state. And tariffs us still higher than anyone else. Well, Mexico and us, I guess, his two best friends, and praises Putin and wants to do business with Russia and wants him back in as part of the G7. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Let's see. Number 6, tanks the U.S. and the world economy because he is dumber than dumb when it comes to the world trade policies. If you still think that his tariff policy is going to benefit you, and I'm talking again to the, to the mega crowd, which includes every Republican governor, except for, well, maybe a couple that kind of sort of say they're against what he's doing, but they don't actually come right out and say it. They don't tell the truth. These educated people that do research and did go to university and do have some of them PhDs and some of them do own businesses and they understand exactly what's happening. But for some reason, they're caught up in this thing now. Again, probably simply because they refuse to admit they made a mistake and they don't want to lose their jobs. They followed this guy. They put their bets on that he'd win, and he did, to keep their jobs, to be in power. That's what rich people do. People always say, how much money do you need? That's not the question. Is how much power do you need? How much power does one company, one individual need? How much does any one person need, period? Okay. Oh, and number 7, continues to solicit money from members of his own social media platform. Yes, if you are unfortunate enough to be a member of his social media platform, he sends out emails every once in a while and it's like posed as a you're going to get something for free. Trump's chosen you to get a golden certificate of blah blah blah. Just click here. It's like the cheesiest, sleaziest propaganda, clickbait type of situation that you could possibly be in. And when you click on it, it gives you like a list of, you want to send 5, 10, 20, 25, 100. And that's what it ends up. You send him money and he sends you a certificate. It's just an email, like electronic certificate. That's your president is doing that. Like the guy who, what was his name? The guy that sells the pillow band there. Or the ShamWow guy. Right? Remember the ShamWow guy? Were you impressed with his ability to sell a piece of cloth to you? For what was it, 10 bucks, 15 bucks? I don't know. ShamWow. It was all vapor. All vapor, just like Trump. Everything he says, it's vapor. It's not real. It doesn't exist in the real world. His tariffs, is the way he runs everything is based on one thing, and that's winning. Winning, not for you. Not for you people who want to lick his balls and kiss his ass. in the end, you're going to find out. And then I'm going to have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to help you get over the pain of what happened when you find out, when you fuck around and find out, when you finally found. I'm going to laugh at first. I'm sorry. I have no choice. It's because it's just so obvious to me, and people like me, ordinary people like me, like you. You and I are very much alike. These people, you mega people that I'm talking to. But I'm just a little bit, and I mean this, I'm only a tiny, tiny, tiny bit smarter because I know how to think for myself. I know what I hear, and I can discern what's the truth and what's a lie. I know what I see with my eyes. That's all you got to do. Get just a teeny, teeny fucking bit smarter. Don't get too smart because then there won't be anyone to fight our wars. Is that it? Did I just make a derogatory remark about people who fight wars? No, it's a fact. Check that out. Don't take my word for it. It's the poor people that fight the wars. Majority, the frontline guys, the pawns, the expendable ones, the ones that the officers send in, the generals send in. Right? We fight the wars. We build the buildings. We dig the ditches, and we have the power. But with power comes, a certain amount of responsibility. Anyway, that's enough for me for today. Have a good one. Take care. See you in the next one.